Okay, good morning. This week we are on Fowler and Gilbert business, and we are doing an industrial shed here at Bowland Tractors. Now, this is as close as Aggie meets industrial because it is a tractor dealership. And what we're doing is an extension to their existing building. So in this building here is where all of their operations go on presently. They've outgrown that and basically they need to extend it. So we've got an L-shaped building going in, and we're here today doing the foundations. Now we'll show you a little bit of the detailing on the computer, probably the next video that we do here at Bowland, because at the moment we've not actually drawn anything ourselves. Everything that we're working to at the minute is presently produced by the architect. So we've got an architect set of drawings, and that set of drawings is what we're working to put the foundations in. Let's go have a look. So this is a particularly complicated job because there are a number of spot footings, we've got strip footings in between, we've got internal dividing walls, we've also got an insulated floor, and to top it all off, after having building regs out, we've got some boundary conditions. Now we've already got fire conditions on the boundary because the boundary on that side of the building is about 2 meters away, the boundary over the back of the building is probably about 4 or 5 meters away. But the additional condition that was put in is because at the very far end, you can see there's that big conifer hedge, and there is also a hedgerow about 4 meters away along this side here. So what that has meant is when we've dug all the footings, which are the spot footings, which are all connected by the strip footings, in fact go up and have a look, all of them footings there that are connected, on the outside of the L we've got to put something in what's called heave boarding. Now basically it's a 75mm thick polystyrene board, and the reason we have to put that in is because of the hedgerows on the 2 elevations. Now basically there is a height in which them hedgerows have to be maintained to. If they exceed, I think it's 7 or 8 meters, then we would have to go deeper with the foundation, but that won't happen. We've got to put in writing that everything will be maintained. So the reason that we have to put this heave board in on the inside of the building of the outside footing of the L shape is because there's a difference in moisture content between the outside of the building of the clay, the existing ground, and the inside, and that's going to be altered as well by that hedge. So instead of having a difference in moisture and therefore expansion and contraction of the clay affecting the footing, it'll basically affect just the heave boarding, and that will help stop the footing move. So that's why we have to put that in. It was a bit of a last minute thing from building regs that was asked for on Friday when we were finishing digging off. So we've had a big weekend getting everything ready, and then today we're going to now pour the footings. And again, pouring the footings is a little bit different for us because this time, because everything has got a strip footing round it, and we've got these internal dividing walls with strip footings, we can't just back a concrete wagon in exactly where we want it. So we've had to have this here pump, and the idea is that that pump will allow us to get all the way round with ease to every footing without having to take a concrete wagon onto the site. So this is the end of the building that we're attaching to. Now we're only attaching to half, effectively, of that building. We're going to send a portal frame right up against the existing, so we've not got to sort of expose and try and attach to the existing steelwork. We're going to butt up to, and then we're going to bring all the materials to the existing, and then we can flash the gap in between the two. That building will then come out in an L shape here and go up there behind you. And then the inside of the L shape here on the existing yard, we're going to dig all that up, and that's all going to be redone. There's loads of other things here because this is having various bits and bobs in it. There's a poo tank on the outside that services the site. That's now not going to be big enough or handle what we've got going in here with the additional growth of the site. So We're going to replace that with a new Jester system there. So we've got that to do just behind us here. We've basically got all the drainage to do on the existing yard. We've got a attenuation, which is a created attenuation system to go out the far end of the building, and that will attenuate all of the clean water, basically, of the whole site before it goes off down into the existing drainage system. So there's mountains to do here. We've not really had a great deal of good weather to get us started, even to the point I come and dug this first run of foundations here. We come back in the following morning and they were completely brimmed to the top with water. So we're constantly pumping water out of the site. Luckily we've had a few days of dry weather now. We've just got the last of the bits of the water and the muck out the corners of the footings, and we're ready for concrete.
Me and my insulation.
So finally, footing wise, we've got this heave boarding that we've got going in. So then return legs are also going to have the heave boarding on. And then we've got 2 layers of mesh in the foundation. So the first layer has gone in, that's on a spacer bar off the bottom. And then we'll have some spacers then that will go in for the second layer of mesh. We've got to make sure as well that them 2 layers of mesh don't interfere with our holding down bolts when we set them in the wet concrete later on. So once we've got the foundations in, we can basically take all of that site information then back to the yard. James and the guys in the drawing office, they can get this drawn up, and then we'll A, have something to show you on our 3D modelling package, and B, we'll be able to get on with manufacturing the building. So that is pretty much it from here. I'm going to assume that the rest of the day is going to go really, really well, and Clayton is going to get a mountain of montage footage, and therefore I will sign off now. So if you like what you've seen, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and we will leave you with a massive on the Bowland Blue Tractor montage. Boom.
I heard that the landlord sold the building. Guess we gotta move today. I think that's something I'd accept if I only had a place to stay. I said if you want us to get up and out of here, I think you're gonna have to do more than say. It's so pathetic you leave us this way. If you're really gonna make us leave, you know you're gonna have to pay for it. You'll have to pay us for it. You can take me from the place that I love, but you can never take my heart from it. Can't take my heart from it. I find myself in an empty apartment, looking at the walls around me. I find myself wondering what became of everyone that we used to see. You know that you're leaving us for nothing, and you don't have much to say. So I guess that we'll pack up all our things and take one last look at the place that we call home every day. I find myself in an empty apartment, looking at the walls around me. I find myself wondering what became of everyone that we used to see. And I can't forget all the moments that we shared. You'll always be a part of me. I find myself wondering what became of everything that we used to be. You can take me from the place that I love, but you can never take my